Welcome back. We're going to talk about challenges today. You have to excuse the squeaky chair if you hear anything, but we're going to talk about challenges, different adversities, different height levels, and how to overcome them, how to view them in the situation or in grandioso of the moment. Before I get into anything, I want to thank you for, continuing to help me grow in the podcast, continuing to grow within yourself, within your mindset, and the destination of what you want to do in life. And if you could do me a favor, go ahead, like, follow, subscribe, download, do whatever you need to do to help support this and the endeavors that we continue to grow throughout the community and the industry. With that getting started, oftentimes we've been in situations to where we were the new person on the job, the new challenge, the new acclimatations of figuring out how things work and how these situations kind of come across. And most recent memories was transitioning between one position and a workforce between the other one. And the workforce, there was a lot more required of me, a lot more demand, a lot more time, a lot more thought, a lot more preparation. And with all these things being thrown at me so fast, it was inevitable that we come across something that is called the imposter syndrome, to where we feel like we're not good enough. We feel like we're not worthy of the attention. We feel like we can't do it. We feel like we are going to fail. And this is overcoming those obstacles, those challenges. This is overcoming that first initial negative impact, that negative thought. And I like to say that, I'm guilt-free of that, but that is not the case. The case is that I always come across a situation where that negative talk comes in, but I'm a little bit more quick to identify what's happening and not letting my moods to take over on the situation. One thing that I believe that we all can relate to is taking the SAT. And the grandioso or situation and the grand gestures of the situation, to where this one particular test would shape the rest of your life, would mold the rest of your life and the destinations that you plan on going and everything. This one test would determine where you're going for the rest of your future, what doors would be opened. It was very, very stressful. It was very stressful for those that took it seriously, and it was very stressful for those that didn't take it seriously, because you realized that you were in a turning point in life. You realized that there were going to be things and conditions bound to your actions. Some of those that overcome the SAT with flying beautiful colors, went on to do great things and higher levels in education and so on and so forth. And it was the prep work that was involved. They did a lot of studying. They did a lot of PSAT, work. They did a lot of books. They did group courses, study courses, figured out what was on last year's test. And there was probably thousands of hours prepping for this one moment. I use that in relative terms of what's happening in your life right now. There's a lot of situations and stressful situations that come up. And how much prep work have you done to overcome this? I know that there's some of us out there saying, well, I have the situation and I don't know how to get out of it and there's nothing I can do. That may be a case. But usually I find when dealing with clients that there's also a case of managing their prep work, managing their time. Well, there's nothing that I can do. Okay. Did you happen to watch the latest seasons of Stranger Things? And I absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. Well, there's 8 hours of prep time. That 8 hours of prep time could have made that moment a little bit easier if you saw it coming, if you thought about it coming, if you laid down a foundation of it coming, if you mentally prepared yourself of whatever the endeavors were coming. putting in that prep work and that idea of seeing how things are going to go and how it's going to come, the ramifications of it. Just taking that extra time so when it does happen, you're a little bit more prepared. Everyone in the Boy Scouts, that may listen to this know exactly what I'm talking about, because be prepared is one of their strongest mottos. Be prepared is something that they kind of drill in you to think about the unknown and the situations and what you may or may not need and how to mentally prepare yourself for that. We always go out anywhere with our scout handbooks because we can look up anything. We have phones now that do that, and we don't use those tools for the right reasons. So it's not a matter of necessarily just stress happening. There's going to be stressful situations, and I want you to know those stressful situations are going to come. But maybe identifying why these stressful situations are happening, what we can do to control the impact of these stressful situations, and how we can prepare ourselves for these stressful situations will help us prevent them from coming up with a lot of practice, a lot of time, a lot of preparation, a lot of mental work. Understanding your environment helps you understand how to control your environment, and then that helps you understand how to react to your environment. I'd like to take the time, thank you again for joining us, staying on top of it, and always being 24 hours better.